Do you guys do paperwork or you go off like word of mouth and trusting each other? How does this work?
No,
Because
so-
obviously sometimes someone can get
some
paid.
people,
you know,
it depends. It depends on how I know the person in what capacity.
Yeah.
Because some people I know them, so I can have a verbal agreement. So we have a verbal agreement. Certain people, certain things. But like other people,
Paperwork.
I have to do paperwork with because what's
paper.
happened. There's been a lot of situations that have happened over the years where things were said that things were going to get taken care of a certain way and they didn't, or artists, like a lot of artists are quite, I find like some artists are quite egotistical and they kind of like, there's a lot of artists that come along and think that they think that because you're their manager or you're their rep, you're going to make them into a superstar overnight, and that's not going to happen. Because the best part of being an artist to me, and I'm not an artist, but what I see and what I can understand from music industry, the best part of being an artist is the journey.
100%.
Not
my G.
It's the journey to being an artist. It's not to be an artist and to blow up overnight to make me millions. Because what do you do when you've made your millions?
Exactly.
It's the whole journey. It's the writing. It's the creating. It's the making beats. It's going to the studio. It's having little things like this to promote. Having these platforms to promote you. The marketing. This is the whole journey. It's all part of the process.
Even
yes.
Sorry to even cut you. Even through the journey. Like putting everything aside for a second, even as a person, you're growing in it because you're going through all of these, all of these events.
Sure.
You're learning about yourself, meeting new people, and all of these things. So it's like
these solutions, many people that you think they might have the same mentality as you. You find out they just there to abuse you, take advantage of you.
Not even that. But for me, it's when it's. It's big to represent an artist, you know, because like you see when an artist is coming up, the only person that believes in their music is themselves. So when you come along now and you've met somebody who wants to be part of your team or wants to believe in you or push you and your music,
it's a weight off your shoulders.
That's a weight off your shoulders, and you should be grateful for that, because there's bare artists out there who don't have nobody. They just sit in their room writing quietly, go studio, make the music. There's nobody to share it with. There's no one to share the end goal with. There's no one to share the things, vision with. So when you do have somebody, like, I know a lot of managers and A&Rs in the industry that have actually got taken advantage of, because the artists have decided, oh, you know what, I'm going to drop you because I didn't pick up, this went wrong, or you didn't make me a star overnight. And it's like, that's not the artist I want to work with.
I remember it is the artist to put it like is 70-30. The manager is there to guide you.
Manager is just 20%.
You still have to put your own word.
I've always used the analogy of going to Glasgow. Glasgow's a long journey. It's like 9 hours, 10 hours, or whatever the case is. Within that thing, for example, who you got in the car is important. You've got your finances is important. Do you get what I mean? Like, basically, are you going to have a smooth journey on the way to Glasgow, or are you going to have a bumpy journey on the way to Glasgow?
Are you going to have what you need in that car for the 9 hour journey?
And have you still got energy when you get there to really enjoy yourself in Glasgow? You know what I mean?
I think for artists, especially for upcoming artists, they need to understand the role of the manager.
Of course.
Instead of just thinking a manager's, like she said, she's just gonna make you. Nah, it doesn't work like that.
And a lot of artists is dabbling into like promotion. You can't do both at the same time.
I agree. I agree.
What do you mean? But artists,
so a manager and an artist, for example, sometimes people, even down to me with most of my situations, like I've always been like focused on the creativity.
Yeah, so, you do the creative.
Yeah, but sometimes, for example, because in this day and age, for example, some managers, for example, want to be the artists, and some artists want to be the managers. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. That artist managing artist business. I don't.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Like Dizzy Rascal wanted to sign me when I was younger.
Yeah, but was he just coming up?
No, he was
so he was
Dizzy.
Established.
Yeah, but at the same time, the only reason I would have never did it is because you're still Dizzy. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, you're still killing it. You're still doing shows. And so to me, my logic, for example, I wouldn't say he would have ever had time for me, but at the same time, like he knew what the talent was, and I think he would have known what direction to take me into. But I always looked at it like, if basically me and you are kind of like the similar kind of energy.
We're both striving for the same. Let's just say if I met you,
the same position.
for example,
ego might get involved.
Well, no, if I met you and I met Dizzy and both of you are striving and I had one opportunity and I said, hey, listen, I said, hey, Dizzy, I've got one opportunity for one of you to open up at the O2, and he's going to take it himself because he's an artist too. He's not going to give it to you.
And even though to me, the one thing I would say, I love Dizzy. Dizzy's my guy, for example. That's he was one of the reasons I started doing this music thing. But the only reason I didn't, because I'm a person I think, as much as I'm excited to be like, all right, it's Dizzy Rascal that wants the management. At the same time, I look at long term always. Do you get what I mean? So I have to make it make sense. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what most people like nowadays, man. They just want it now.
And it don't work like that.
It don't work like that.
I learned that very quickly.
I say like in terms of like an artist and a manager, I think you should stay together, grow together, learn from mistakes. But lots of artists are just like, oh well, that manager, he didn't help me do this, and he didn't help me do that, she didn't help me do this.
It's never their fault as well, you know.
It's never the artist's fault. It's always the manager's fault.
No, it's never either.
Exactly.
But the ego thing in the middle, for example, because not in a bad way, I feel like some artists, for example, get an ego. Do you get what I mean? And some managers sometimes get an ego as well.
Yes.
But if you both understand, treat it like going to work. After 5, for example, I take my uniform off. Yeah. Some people still keep it on and go to bed with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.